There we go. Got it.
All right. And now back in Zoom. Are you there?
I'm still here. We see you, buddy.
All right. Can you see me?
I could see. Oh, well, you're frozen now.
Zoom. I don't know what this is.
Let me get my little TV dinner tray out so
All right,
that
cool.
I don't look like Yoda.
All righty.
Jabba the Hutt.
I'm going to make you participant. All righty. Andre. All right, Andre, I'll make you hold.
Okay.
That way you can control it. All right, we there? All right, we're live out of actually Houston, Texas, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The Jersey Boys Sports Talk. I apologize. I'm out of Fornos. I'm in Houston at a conference. Sorry, Mr. Byron. Sorry to our fans. I thought I had asked someone to help me out. I think Joey Bag of Donuts was going to join, so we're on lift there. Andre, you still there?
I'm still here, bud.
I don't see you. All right. We don't see. I guess it's on my phone. Hey, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the sports channel and the sportscast on all your channels, on all our channels, on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook. You can listen to us. We got our own podcast, the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, the Purple podcast on your Apple. Please download and leave a review. It would help us out tremendously. Today, we got obviously hosted by Byron Jones and myself, Victor Arocho, but we're going to be co-hosted by Andres Gisbert, and a sports analyst, video expert, and he is going to rock it for us today. Unfortunately, I'm here at a conference, so I'm not going to be able to stay on, but I want to at least get it going. So we're going to have to record. Make sure this is record. If you see a button down there low, it says record. Andres, on the bottom, scroll down.
It says that it's been recording.
It's recording on YouTube, so that way we can get it. But let's get it going. And I know you guys got a lot of stuff to talk about. So Byron, you want to head this up? But I got some guys I want to introduce you to real quick before I get off. So ironically, I'm at a conference. So I'm at a conference, and I had the ability to speak. So guess who I'm speaking with, right? So the guys I'm speaking with, the host of this boot camp in the home care division. His name is Steve Weiss, but he's called Steve the Hurricane Weiss. And guess where he's from? New Jersey. And guess what? As soon as I walk into him, guess what he's wearing, Byron?
Jet gear.
Giants.
New York Giants. I'm a season ticket holder, baby.
That's my co-host, Byron Jones. And there's Andres Gisbert. It's also one of my other hosts. He's an analyst. He actually has worked with USFL. He's a sports analyst. Byron Jones played for the Minnesota Vikings. He also served, both served in the military, Air Force and the Army. Those are my boys. They're going to host the show. This is brother Scott. This is our crew that we're eating. I apologize. Hey, welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Call. Say Jersey Boys.
Jersey Boys.
All right, so we're here. And I walk in, I didn't recognize it was him. He's wearing a Giants shirt. And guess what, Byron? He's got season tickets. You know how he got season tickets? When COVID hit, apparently a bunch of people started selling their tickets.
Right.
Wow.
Well, I got my season tickets. I'm in the box. It's fantastic. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
So with this draft, you like the draft that we did last week? I love the 1, 2, 3. I even love the 4 through 7. But that 1, 2, 3, I knew they were gonna get that kid, that center from Minnesota in the second round. 57th. That is a lot of people saying the steal of the draft because that kid is NFL ready. One of my clients is an alumni from Minnesota, and I texted him immediately. Tell me about this kid. Is he worth it? He goes, I would take him as a starting center for the Vikings over the guy we have right now. The Vikings got one of the best lines in the NFL.
What do you think, Byron?
Yeah, I love the pick. You know, I was glad
You like the pick? All right, I'm gonna go because it's hard to hear. I'm ruining the recording. You guys take it from here. Hey, I really appreciate it. God bless. Jersey in the house, man. I got lucky. Peace. Thank you, guys.
Everybody.
Okay. What's up, Byron? How you doing, man?
My blood pressure, like always.
What they got you on Lipitor?
Nothing. I'm all good.
Oh, okay. They got me on Lipitor. But it's all good. But I'm pretty sure people didn't come in to hear about our blood pressure.
I'll
Well, welcome to the Sports Talk, to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk radio show. This podcast is being broadcasted from right now from Salem or Damascus, Ohio, and is it Newcastle or is it Castleberry? Where you at? Where are you at again? Is it Castleberry, PA?
Lansdowne. Yeah, Lansdowne, PA.
Prince of Prussia. Nah, as you heard, my name is Andre. This is Byron Jones. I'm a video analyst for the USFL, and Byron Jones is a former NFL player. How many years in NFL?
A whole whopping half of one.
Oh, there you go. He held a cup of coffee, ladies and gentlemen. He held a cup of coffee. But we're both former D1 players. Byron played at Tulsa.
Yep.
And I tip my hat to him because it's a tough. It was back in his day. It was a tough place to win. Opponents would come in and they would struggle for a win. So they defended that house.
Yes.
And I played for Air Force. So
we played you guys one year, the first year there.
no, there we go. There we go. Well, I guess what everybody's asking is, what about this draft? How do we feel about this draft? What's going on with this draft? How Byron, how are your feelings about this draft overall?
It was a little weak, as far as the top players. I think they had a lot less than what they had, with a first round grade, in this past draft. But I'm happy with the Giants pick. As far as them picking a cornerback is what we needed. And the Washington Commanders surprised me by picking the 166-pound defensive back from Mississippi State. Yeah, he's a little light, but I think the biggest story of the whole thing was the running back that the Dallas Cowboys picked, the 5'3" guy from Kansas State that his dad got a chance to,
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I thought that was a special touch, and that's a Dallas Cowboys thing. They were trying to keep it in the family. That was really nice.
Yep.
I as you and I know, people like Jerry Jones, they care about the Dallas Cowboys family, and when you work for the Star takes care of you.
Yep.
So overall, I think it felt more like prom night that first night. Watching that draft that first night, it felt more like prom night instead of an actual draft. I think they made it a little too foo-foo, but I guess for the entertainment factor and all, and I get it. They had to make it entertaining. It's like playing. It's like watching someone else play bingo. Is how I felt.
I thought it was pretty cool, the kids come out, with the nice suits, and now since I know, they're getting their NIL money, how they're going to pay for these suits that they come out with, and the watches, and just all they're like blinged out when they come out.
The agents already took care of that, Byron. You know that they're charging $9,000 for this, $30,000 just to rent the watch. Before you know it, the kid's got a $70,000 bill and he hasn't gotten a check yet.
Well, he's going to get that right out of his bonus. But as soon as he signs and he get the check, that he just going to take his right out of it.
Oh yeah, all those expenses. Oh, you want to fly with mommy and daddy and Mima and Peepaw? No problem. We'll put them up in the Waldorf Astoria.
They're getting their money right off the top.
Were you surprised at what a dynamic shift in picks all of a sudden? it's like some of these picks didn't even make sense 5 or 6 years ago, and now it does make sense because it's such a copycat league.
Yeah, yeah. It was just like the Jets. Okay, the Jets know that they have, Aaron Rodgers is there now, but then they turn around and pick the edge rusher from Iowa State, and it was like, okay, they have a pretty good defense. They have edge rushers there, so why would you pick an edge guy when they needed an offensive tackle or maybe even get another, more weapons for him? It's just weird that it's a passing league now, but you figure they're going to pay this guy a ton of money, so I think you would want to protect him, for this year and maybe get another year out of him.
I don't know, man. I honestly felt like, I guess time will tell, but no one really is not caring about the height differentials anymore about quarterback. If you can ball, they're going to draft you. They're going to try to see what you can do at the next level.
But do you think it's a big deal that the fact that Bryce Young is 5'10" or 11, whatever he is? You think it's going to make a difference in the NFL?
I don't know. I think as someone who who played with an average height quarterback, I want to say Blaine Morgan. Here's your shout out. When he played at Air Force, he didn't even. I don't even think he hit 6 feet tall. And then you had and Blaine was a hell of a gamer. Now, granted, it was the spread option, and we were doing things, but he had a hell of an arm, and he was accurate, and he, like I said, he was a gamer. But I always was wondering if he could see. It was always in the back of my head. Could he see past the O line? Could he see past the D line? Could he? Is he just guessing where, or thinking, hey, this is where the route's supposed to be. This is where he's supposed to be. I'm throwing it there. I don't know. I mean, I won 2 state championships with 2 very short quarterbacks. I mean, I mean, I could tell you that the best athlete is always going to shine.
Right.
I don't know in this league. I don't know if that matters anymore about the height, because Aaron Rodgers isn't tall.
No.
Drew Brees wasn't very tall.
No.
I mean, heck, can we arguably? I would like to say that arguably Drew Brees was an amazing quarterback, and he did a lot, and he was considered short.
Yeah.
So and they consider Aaron Rodgers average height. I think he's just a little over 6 feet tall. So I don't know if the prototype, the prototypical 6'4" quarterbacks, are going to dominate as much as they used to, because how the game has evolved. Yes, it's a pass happy league, but they're looking for these dual threat quarterbacks. I mean, we just had a Super Bowl with 2 of the best dual threat quarterbacks.
Yeah, but can they sustain it for a long time, running that the way that they do? Because look at Cam Newton. Cam Newton was the greatest thing in sliced bread. He was 6'6", 250 pounds, and he didn't last as long as he should because he took the pounding from running the ball.
I don't know. Can we argue that Randall Cunningham lasted pretty good, had a heck of a career, and he was one of the first ones that would run out there and run out there for a while, like everybody said that he looked like a chicken without a head, but man, he got those damn first downs. He got those. He was making it work.
Yeah, but he didn't start running. He pretty much stopped running toward, like most of them do, toward the end of his career when he got to Minnesota, and he had Chris Carter and Randy Moss and the guys that he had. So he really didn't run as much as
he didn't need to.
He
didn't need to. They were double teaming those 2 guys.
Chuck it up there and let them go get it.
I mean, seriously, you had Carter and Moss how, if you're a defensive coordinator, you're praying to God that your DBs can stop half of the catches at least.
Well, yeah, they were in that one year where they go 15-1 and then lost to Atlanta Falcons. Like
Yeah.
the league. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think that now, this whole evolution of adapting to what's actually out there. We're not seeing a whole lot of these tall quarterbacks perform very well in the college ranks. We're not seeing these tall, big pocket passers, put out crazy good numbers in college. I don't know. I honestly don't know if that's just what this is evolving to, or whatnot. I mean, heck, who's ever heard of the edge position until a couple years ago?
Nobody.
Exactly. They were called stand-up defensive ends back in the day.
I was one, as big as I was.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, So we could go. Let's go ahead and look at the. Let's look at the. This is a New York Giants. This is a New York Giants. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. This is a New York Giants telecast. So let's go ahead. I'm sorry, podcast. So according to the experts and whoever the experts are, I mean, the experts said that the Giants needed a wide receiver, an offensive lineman, and a cornerback. Do you feel they addressed those needs?
Yes, we did. The first pick, Deontay Banks, the kid from Maryland.
Yes, sir.
He fits perfect, with that defense, man-to-man cover guy for Wink Martindale. He was perfect. We were a little light in the center position with pretty much nobody. We're going to convert.
It was by committee.
Like 4 or 5. When I had my depth chart, it was like 4 or 5 guys that they just threw over there. It's like, okay, one of these 4 are going to play center, and then we'll put whoever loses, left guard or right guard or wherever. And thank God, they did pick the kid from Minnesota, who I thought was the best, center, in the draft, either him or Trippman, the guy that went to the Jets, or the kid from Ohio State, or the 3 top ones. So I would have been happy with any one of the 3, but I think we got, the best one.
I think you guys got really lucky that Jalen Hyatt was available in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Because I honestly thought he was going to be definitely a first 5 of the 2nd round. And all of a sudden he was lingering. And I said, man, that guy is a gem. I'm honestly shocked at how he lingered just for so long. In the whole first, second. Well, I knew he wasn't a first rounder. I honestly felt he was a 2nd rounder for sure. But the fact that he was still available, because all these people were everybody was jumping on the whole quarterback bandwagon all of a sudden. It seems like all the big name quarterbacks got drafted before the 5th pick of the 2nd round.
Right.
So it seemed like everybody who had ideas of a quarterback, they just got a quarterback. But yeah, I think you guys got a steal there on the 3rd round. In the 5th round, that's another steal. I think he could develop into a heck of a fullback. I don't think he's a running back at the next level. I think he's a fullback. Eric Gray from Oklahoma is this big bruising guy. I think if you guys decided to go ahead and put him in at fullback, he might be the answer to your fullback needs.
Well, they really, like last year, they really didn't run a lot with the fullbacks, maybe because they didn't have one, because they put the tight end Chris Myrick back there and Bellinger, and have as the fullback. But you figured, the way the fullback is there, because now it's like all right, okay, what are we gonna do with him unless you get like the kid from, like the one that San Francisco has, or the big giant 300-pound one that the Baltimore Ravens have, something like that. The block, you're gonna run the ball like that. But he's an Oklahoma kid, so he has to be pretty good.
I mean, I honestly think he's a big bruiser, so I think it'll be pretty nice. According to the stats, he is, he's 5'9", 207 pounds. I think he's just going to be bruising people away. They're going to put him on the weight program and just let him bruise people. I think there's so much to build. I mean, if you see the guy's legs, he had these monstrous legs.
Like Saquon.
Yeah, basically, just mini Saquon.
Yeah, the only problem, well, you figure like the backs they have are Barkley, Breida, they re-signed him, Corbin from Florida State, and Brightwell backs that they have now. So now, since they drafted, this kid, so one of those two, somebody's going to be out of a job, come in August.
We'll see. It's one of those things. It could be that they move this kid to fullback and they're finding something else.
Just so you know, they did bring in an Air Force kid, like the quarterback this year. Was it Zeke Daniels?
Yes.
So they brought him in as
Zeke Daniels.
Yeah, quarterback, running back. He's getting a trial. I think their mini camp is Friday and Saturday, so he's supposed to be there. We'll try him to both, but we'll see how the Air Force guy goes.
So what's happening is none of the teams wanted to waste a draft pick on an academy player because the House committee, some committee in the House is still deciding whether or not they're going to allow football players and basketball players and baseball players play in the pros from the academies. I think to this day, growing up, the best advertisement that Annapolis ever had was David Robinson.
Yep.
And the man was in every commercial for the academy, for the Navy. He was a gentleman. I could say that he lived his life in an honorable fashion and was very honorable and gracious with the fans, with the media, with just even people from all over the world as an ambassador for Navy. And he did a lot of USO visits, for what I understand. He did a lot of USO visits.
You also had the other kid back, well, this is back in my day, Napoleon McCallum, the running back.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Him too. But they've had a few, come from the. But what is the big deal, as far as them, we have to check to see if it's okay. The draft comes by every year at the same time. So
some politician got a hair up their butt and said that I don't like the idea that we're spending all this money in training these cadets, and some of these cadets are not fulfilling their 6 years of service. They're going to the NFL, and obviously we're dealing with pencil necks who probably never served in the first place. Needless to say, probably never even played center, guard, or tackle, for a football program. And when I say center, guard, or tackle, center of the bench, guard the water, tackle anybody who messes with it. I think they were not even good enough to be water boys. But these two politicians who never served are feeling like this is an issue, that God forbid these academy graduates, be ambassadors for their military branches.
Yeah, but can't they? Well, I'm sure they've done it in the past where they let them reserve duty.
That's exactly what they were doing. But now like I said, these two pencil necks are trying to remove that. I guess the issue was there was a baseball player from Army who apparently for the last 10 years was in the minors. And now all he does is just sit at home as a recruiter, and he never commanded, he never did anything, but he was he was a second lieutenant. And all he's done is work as a recruiter. He never, and they felt that, well, this guy didn't accomplish anything because he was in the minors. Well, at the end of the day, he was the way I look at it is, how much do we pay how much does the Department of Defense pay in advertising just to do a 22-second commercial on television or on streaming, on people's streaming applications? Well, this is a way to go ahead and get, how much, you're not even paying this guy. You're not paying this guy. While he's playing baseball. Like I said, I don't. Two pencil necks. Leave it to the world that a bunch of pencil necks that never accomplish anything and that are professional politicians are the ones who are going to save the world. But this is not a political show.
No, sir.
So I honestly think that that you got some interesting last three picks here. The cornerback from Old Dominion, Trey Hawkins III.
Yep.
I actually don't know a thing about this kid, but I had heard about a shutdown corner at Old Dominion, but I don't know if this is that kid. It might be.
It might be a kid.
It just might be, but we don't know.
But we'll take him anyway.
Hey man, if he makes it on the team and he can give you guys a couple good downs, a couple good third and longs and whatnot, why not? The next guy is Jordan Riley. And I'm kind of sad for Jordan Riley. I guess this is one of those things that I guess the scouting department of the New York Giants are hoping that it will be the Jordan Riley of 2 years ago, that they could revamp that kid. Because 2 years ago, that was a formidable beast of a defensive tackle. But then again, 2 years ago, Mario Cristobal was at Oregon. So, yeah. And now he's in Miami and he's stinking up the place. But neither here nor there. He was a formidable beast 2 years ago. A year ago, he was okay. I think he was above average, but last year he just wasn't where I think he needed to be. And I think this is one of those things where your scouting department is figuring, well, he's only he's the 7th round pick. Worst comes to worst, we cut him. Let's see if we can bring him in. See if we could develop him into the monster that he could be.
Yeah, because he's a nose, and you have a Dexter getting that big fat contract, he just got, and, the other guys behind him, and then DJ Davidson, like the third string nose, was hurt. So this kid does have the opportunity to come in, and get one of those jobs.
He's 6'5". He has this monstrous wingspan. According to this, I don't see it. Doesn't have it here. They don't have it for it, but I remember seeing it in one of my in one of my reports. He had this monstrous wingspan of almost 7 feet.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Could you just imagine the guy just lifting? Just tell him keep his hands up, keep his hands up and wave.
He'll knock down anybody's pass coming over the middle.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, and the kids from New Bern, North Carolina. New Bern, North Carolina is a hard place to grow up. I'll tell you that. It's a hard, it's a small town, hard place to.
I've been there before. Matter of fact, I was there during a flood one time, and they got some pretty good barbecue around there.
Oh, they actually, you're missing out on the best thing in all of New Bern, North Carolina. outside of New Bern, North Carolina, just outside of New Bern, North Carolina, is Miss Lacey's Tea House. And it's called the Tea House. I don't know why, because I guess ladies go there to drink tea. But they actually make some of this Hershey's, a 9-layer Hershey's chocolate cake.
9-layer.
9-layer Hershey's chocolate cake that my wife's grandmother had me go and drive from Fayetteville to New Bern to go fetch this for $52. And I brought it for a beautiful barbecue and put it in the fridge and never got to taste it because someone took it. They never took it out during the party. And when I said, "Hey, well, nobody got this cake. I'm going to eat some of this cake," and I opened it and I found out that my wife's aunt saw the cake, saw which cake it was, and took it with her and took it to her house. So not only did I have to drive from Fayetteville to New Bern, which was about an hour and 20 minutes, but then I had to pay the bill, drive it back, and didn't get to enjoy this cake.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been really careful. I'd have been a little upset.
Fast forward 9 years, and this Christmas was when I finally got to taste that 9-layer chocolate cake.
Was it worth it?
You know what? It ain't $52 anymore. It's $60 because of inflation, but it's still worth the $60.
Would you drive that far to go get it?
Oh, I'm too far now. I'm too far now. I might do it on my way into town, but no. It was definitely worth it's definitely worth its price. I mean, Miss Lacey's, if you guys are ever outside of New Bern, it's just outside. Okay. And then of course, just to free up the DB, just to settle in a couple more, one more DB, they got this safety from Houston, and I don't know anything about this kid from Houston, but I hope he Javarius Owens. I don't know anything about him. Javarius Owens or family of Javarius Owens. If you're watching our podcast, thank you. But my word to him is take advantage of every opportunity you are given from now on. I mean, because seriously, they will cut you faster than they will faster than they will look at you.
Yes, it will, because we do need safety and free safety, because we did lose Julian Love, to the Seattle Seahawks. So there's an opportunity for him as well to make the team, and special teams or something, to help us out.
There's opportunity there. There definitely is. I can honestly say it's all in all, I'm a little shocked at how fast some of these quarterbacks got picked. I mean, I'm still weirded out on this whole deal. I think Levis is going to shock some people. I think Levis is gonna go in with a chip in his shoulder.
What happened?
I'm sorry?
What happened with that situation?
I heard through the grapevine he does not interview well. I heard through the grapevine he did not interview well. So when they brought him in to a couple teams, he just didn't interview well. So
yeah, but shouldn't it be where you put the tape on and watch what the kid does, on the field, and then most of it should be based off of that, but I guess not. That they want to, I guess, put him on a chalkboard, and he probably had issues with that or whatever.
So they're not allowed to do chalk talk anymore, according to the new CBA. You can't put them on the dry eraser board unless they personally grab it. You can't give them the dry eraser marker and tell them to get on it. They literally have to grab it themselves and draw it up. So what some people, smart and savvy people, do is say, "Hey, what was your favorite play in college? Could you draw it for me?" One of those deals. But that's how they kind of get them started on the board. I don't think it was that. I think it has more to do with the fact that you know, for what I understand, he's a shy kid when it comes to he's a shy kid when it comes to people of authority, but he likes to be a boisterous guy everywhere else. But if it's someone of authority, he kind of locks up. I honestly think it was a bad. I personally think he could have used an extra year.
Yeah.
I honestly think he could have used an extra year, but I also know that he probably needed to leave Kentucky to become the quarterback that everybody's thinking that he could be. And I don't think he wanted to do that. And I heard from multiple sources he wanted to leave Kentucky in good terms. He didn't want to have to play for somebody else to then have to play against Kentucky because those were his options.
Well, the transfer?
To transfer. And to transfer to who? Who's going to develop him? Georgia? Who's going to develop him? Clemson? Who's going to develop him? Alabama? I mean, Florida? Who really needed a stud quarterback like that, quick, fast, in a hurry, who would take him in right away? Ohio State? I don't know. But at the end of the day, well, he's an Ohio kid, so maybe Ohio State. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think he did the thing that he felt was wise for him. But I will have to say, I mean, goodness gracious, he was that first round, him sitting there. ESPN kept on showing him, and every time they showed him, he had a different girl next to him. What did he do? Come with a harem?
Nah, he probably sisters and cousins, and
I don't know, man. I mean, like every other time that they showed him, he had a different girl next to him. I was like, yo, and they were all beautiful.
Yeah,
they were all beautiful. There weren't no sevens in that group. Now, I'm not trying to be a male chauvinist, people. I'm just being honest. These were very beautiful women. I'm certain he was definitely charmed by their conversation.
Yes.
But
until the next day.
Yeah, he had there was a whole lot of talking because he had to wait till the next day. But I think there's that. I think the Browns had a horrible draft. All those picks for just one guy.
Yeah.
The Dolphins, a bunch of picks for one guy.
Yeah, pretty
much. Anything shock you?
Just like, I know. The Detroit Lions taking the people they took. Gibbs, the running back that high at 12, and Jack Campbell, the linebacker from Iowa.
What's wrong? You don't like Campbell?
For some reason, he just, I know he's a bigger linebacker. He's tall, for the position. And it was just weird because the NFL seems like they've gotten away from, the 6'3" and up, middle linebacker. But, the kid is good, but it was just to take him that high. And then, with Gibbs, I thought he was a great running back down there, Alabama. He was a beast. But for them, 12, usually you just don't take a running back, that high. And they have other needs that they could have covered. They needed a tight end, maybe another defensive lineman or something. But
I would argue that they needed a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
I would argue that they needed a defensive lineman. But could you think of maybe, just maybe, the reason why they went with the kid from Iowa in that for that linebacker position is because they got what's his name, Hutchinson, doing too much?
Yeah, figure, but he can do all that stuff. He can put his hand in the dirt, he can brush off the edge, but he can drop back, but still you don't want a guy 6'7", 280 pounds drop. What is he going to? He's going to drop to the flat or whatever, and that's it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he's an oversized. Maybe he was a linebacker who might eventually become a defensive lineman. Maybe in college he was a linebacker, but at the next level, he's a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Hey man, the edge position needs speed. If he's got enough speed to be a linebacker, he's got enough speed to be the edge.
Yeah, but still, they just a middle linebacker that high is just, man, it just doesn't happen. If that's the case, they wanted somebody screaming off the edge. They could have drafted a kid, Nolan Smith from Georgia, that the Eagles ended up getting. That's speed, 4.39 40.
Oh yeah, he's fast.
Speed.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Georgia, what do you? Since you are a Georgia fan, what do you think about Stetson going to the LA Rams?
Well, he's an older quarterback. He can go there. He can go there and mentor Stafford.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. I was like, isn't he almost Stafford's age?
He's like, what is he, 25, 26 years old? Yeah, he can go there. He could be the older quarterback, the guru, for Black Stafford in the quarterback room. So, he'll fit in perfect, the older guy. He'll be like Earl Morrall back in the day, the older quarterback to come in. That'll be him.
For those who don't know, the way there's a street in Davie, Florida, and it's the street that literally cuts in front of Nova Southeastern University, and it's called Earl Morrall Way.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because he lives in the area and he plays golf in the area, so they felt that being that the Dolphins did have facilities for a very long time at Nova Southeastern University, which is in Davie, Florida, they decided to name the street Earl Morrall Way. That's a interesting tidbit from my home, from back home in Miami. But yeah, I honestly think, other than the fact that first round felt like a prom night or whatnot, second night felt moved along a lot faster and a lot better, if you ask me. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like watching other people play bingo. When it comes to the draft, I don't really watch much of it. I had to because it was the only thing on TV. But I would rather watch my Heat beat the Bucks, and now they're going to try to beat the Knicks. While Philly's trying to take care of Boston right now.
What Joel Embiid being the MVP, I don't know how that happened, man. This guy, man, 7'2", 270 pounds. He spends more time flopping on the ground and falling down, fall away jumpers than any big guy I've ever seen.
All I could say is if it were the Detroit Pistons of the early 90s versus any team today, the Pistons would probably not be able to field the team from all the technical fouls.
It would have been brutal watching. Yeah, Rick Mahorn and that would have been a little rough.
I'm just saying. I mean, heck, they did you see that LeBron James was able to create a foul from thin air because the guy just whiffed? Didn't he? I guess he touched the jersey. Is what it was.
You can't touch
LeBron. No, they're literally playing the playlist from MC Hammer. Can't touch this. Every time he's driving into the paint.
You figure LeBron and Michael Jordan back in the day, there were certain people don't touch.
But I would say that I would honestly argue that they actually let them be hard on Jordan. It was after Jordan left the Bulls that they had the Jordan rule, where don't touch him, is how I felt. I felt they allowed teams to guard him pretty hard up to the point where after he left the Bulls, where they kind of had that Jordan rule. That's just my opinion.
But prior to that, they were, if you came in the middle, you was mugged by somebody.
Oh yeah.
Ewing and all them guys back in the day, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley. You want to come up in here? Okay, we got something for you. They were just Bill Lambier with Detroit. Oh, that was a match.
Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning, I tell everybody, was the best undersized center to ever play in the league. Because think about it, he was undersized for a center.
I'm getting ready to show my age.
Okay.
Wesley South.
Okay.
What's the name? Bob Lanier wasn't a big center. Well, yeah, he was huge.
What are you talking about? Lanier was almost 7 feet tall.
He wasn't that tall, like 6'10". Big feet. His feet made him seem big. Who else? Willis Reed. He wasn't a big guy. Dave Cowens, Boston. He wasn't a big guy.
I'm just saying. I mean, when I saw how Patrick Ewing towered over Alonzo Mourning.
Oh yeah.
But yet Alonzo would get in there and go toe to toe with Patrick Ewing, which, for those of you who don't know your history, Patrick Ewing and Alonzo Mourning both played for John Thompson, the great John Thompson of Georgetown. They both played at Georgetown. In fact, I think when Patrick Ewing was graduating, Alonzo Mourning came in, or they had a year of overlap or something. But
was after Mourning, right?
I'm sorry?
Was Mutombo after or before Mourning?
Before.
I think
Before.
Okay.
Before. I think he was the bridge of the two. But yeah, for a while there, I mean, the great John Thompson, he had them all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And now they can't win a game. They're awful now, the Georgetown program.
Well, no, Patrick Ewing is no longer their coach. He resigned. I think they let him resign at the end of the season. And the problem is it's very hard for them to recruit because they don't have good facilities, and their facilities are subpar. And they play in an NBA arena, and they don't fill it. They play in a league that really is a tough league. I mean, they play in that Big East, man. That's a tough league. That's a tough conference.
You figure out all the famous, a lot of Hall of Fame players that they've had come through Georgetown that they would, fork over a little money so that, they would get.
It's Washington, D.C. Byron, how much can they fork? At the end of the day, there's always some venture lobbyist. I say venture capital communists. That's what I've been calling lobbyists now. But some lobbyist is buying buys everything over there, man. They can't afford. A school will always get outbid, and that's what's happening. I mean, it's happening to Howard. It's happening to George Washington. Georgetown, and it's even happening to Gallaudet. For those who don't know, Gallaudet is a D3 program. It's a school for the deaf. And if you ever have a chance, please go on to YouTube and YouTube the story of Gallaudet football. It's very cool how they play football.
Really?
I won't give it away, but they are known as the Sonic Boom.
It's cool.
Yeah, man. When I coached at a D3 school, we had to play against them, and it's very special. It's very special to play against them and see how hard they play and how they just cherish being out on that field. And they don't let that disability, the disability of being hard of hearing be their crutch.
Okay.
So I tip my hat off to the coaches, the staff, the graduates, and the current students at Gallaudet. But yeah, I think in a roundabout way, I mean, think about it. The kids who are graduating high school now, they have no clue who Allen Iverson is.
None.
They know about his shoe.
Besides that, they don't have a clue who this guy is.
Exactly. I mean, heck, none of these kids that are graduating high school today saw Michael Jordan play.
They know his shoe.
They know his shoe brand, but and some of them didn't even get to. Some of them or only saw Kobe towards the very end.
Damn.
So I mean, this is we're dating ourselves here, but I think there's something to be said about the American high school basketball players now that they're going straight from high school to the G League or going to Europe and getting theirs. Man, I kind of don't blame them. Why go to a college that they're not going to get paid? They're going to be pimped out, and it maybe not. Maybe that coach gets fired at the end of the season, and they're out to dry.
Yeah, but they're still getting the NIL money. Basketball
that
players.
Byron. Unless you're in a top tier school, the NIL money is funny money still. Okay, I'm gonna break it down to you. Okay, so they say that Bryce Young was getting $500,000 in NIL money. No, what happens is he was with like some brand. I think it was Express or HN or whatever, some clothier. I think it was Express for Men. Was giving him the value of an allowance of $6,000 a year. But it's what they value it at, because what they're doing is they're saying, well, this is what MSRP on that shirt is. So they're saying that shirt is valued at $90. But you and I know they paid $3 to some kid in Malaysia for that shirt. But they're saying that shirt is $90, and that's the value, and that's how they are able to inflate the value of his NIL package. There's a car dealership that I live very close by, and I know a few people who work for them, so I'm not going to use their name when I say this, but they gave him a lease on a $150,000 car because that's what they valued the vehicle at. But here's the thing. How was it? I look at it as, well, that's what you say the value was, but the blue book, the auction houses, and a bunch of other people didn't see it as more than $100,000 car. But you're valuing it at $150,000. Okay, that's what you say the value is. That's what the value is. You get what I'm saying? Yep. So at the end of the day, yeah. So he had a value of he had an NIL value of $500,000, and he has to pay taxes on that. But it's all funny money because they're just giving him like a credit card to go get products at that clothier. They're giving him a free lease on a $150,000 car. They're giving him a restaurant deal where he just goes in, swipes his card for five free meals, not exceeding $50 each time he's there. No discounts, no nothing. It's $50 each time he goes. It cannot exceed $50. If it exceeds $50, he has to cough up the rest, and he still has to pay gratuity. You get what I'm saying?
I was at a meeting yesterday that was like kind of sort of with the NIL thing, but they were, explaining, as far as like the 1099, you shouldn't pay, the cash, you should give them a gift card. It's like, it was a whole big old thing, how they beat the, well, might as well say how they go work with the system, kind of, sort of, before they're not getting, taxed the daylights out of these kids.
Oh no, they're going to get, they're still getting taxed because at the end of the day, that restaurant, that clothier, that dealership is saying what the value is in their tax write-off.
Right.
So they're going to inflate the numbers, and the kid gets stuck with the tax.
Yeah.
It's like when you go on The Price is Right and you guess the right prices. Well, guess what? Those right prices, you add it up. That's what you're paying. You're going to pay sales tax on that. And if the show was in California, you're paying the TV tax.
Yep. And people, so my cousin was on Price is Right recently, well, last year sometime, and won. And I was like, man, it's weird, man, what they do, the things that they do.
I'll never forget, a dude won a car on The Price is Right, but they couldn't give him the car until he took out a loan to pay the taxes, because The Price is Right couldn't give him the car until he had proof that he paid the taxes. And the argument was, well, he was a resident of Nevada. Why should he have to pay California sales tax when if you go to a dealership in California, you don't pay California sales tax, you pay the Nevada sales tax. Yep. But there's the TV. I'm telling you, he tried suing the state. The guy probably lost a lot of money because you know what the state of California said? California still got their money, baby.
Yes, they did.
Oh, dude. Other than that, I think we're gonna have an exciting offseason. I think with the proliferation of these two spring leagues, and a lot of talent was overlooked, if you ask me. And now they're getting the invites now to these OTAs and these rookie camps, and I think that's gonna help the future of the quality that we're gonna see coming into the NFL. If you ask me, I think we're going to start seeing guys go from college to some of these spring leagues and show out. And all of a sudden now when they get signed, even though they're getting signed as undrafted free agents, they're coming in at a different bargaining table because now they're a proven commodity against people, people of higher caliber.
Right.
So I think we'll find out real soon how that works. I mean, I'm not going to mention any leagues in particular, but one particular league, a spring league, had 18 or 19 guys sign with undrafted free agents, sign as undrafted free agents.
Nice.
Yeah. And the other league is still going to wait. I think a lot of these guys in the other league, or the one particular league that I received paychecks from, is where there's a lot of scouts showing up to games. There's a lot of scouts showing up to practices, and they're evaluating talent, and they're going to see what's what.
Nice.
I think as much as I love the analytics and whatnot, it's what you can do on the actual field is going to be the determining factor.
Yep.
This is a meritocracy, so we'll see.
That's what we do.
All right, what's in store for this weekend for you, buddy?
I'll be doing my usual Philip Bundes thing where we'll be picking up food and delivering it to the elders and people in the area. So
Meals on Wheels.
Kind of full.
Well, Meals on Wheels. I got you. You're gonna see any family this weekend, or just gonna kick it with the wife?
No, I go with my mother so she can sit there and yell at me like she usually does. So
it doesn't get better, huh?
Nah,
you tell me there's no hope to end the nagging.
No, my mom's still here, so she can yell at me all she wants. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now that there is no hope. Okay. I love you, Mom. I do. But man, do you nag. Hey, man. All I get out of it is a good flung. No, we got a game against Birmingham this Sunday. So those who want to pay attention and watch the game will be on television on FS1 at 6:30, and we'll be playing under the beautiful lights at Tom Benson Stadium, located in Canton, Ohio. If you are nearby, they're selling tickets for $10. Nice. And I could tell you that for $10, I think we're worth more than that. But I think if you want to see professional level, even college tickets are not even $10 anymore. So I mean, if you want something to do with your kid this weekend, and you're in the Canton area, in the greater Canton area, or within a decent driving distance of the Canton area, The sun's going to be out. It's going to be nice. I think. I think I can't. Don't quote me on this. I think we're going to have fireworks after the game. I can't make any promises. I know that there's fireworks after touchdowns.
Is it a
Hopefully,
Tampa Bay
our
team?
no, there's no. They shut down the Tampa Bay team, and they turned the Tampa Bay team into the Memphis Showboats.
Okay, I can root for them.
So the Memphis Showboats already have. So the idea of the USFL is they created these teams, and eventually the league will have prospective buyers for these teams. And they already have a prospective buyer for the Philadelphia team. They have a prospective buyer for the Memphis team. They have a prospective buyer for the Birmingham team. And they have a prospective buyer for the Houston team, but he doesn't want it in Houston. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, I mean, right now, I think it's very nice what we're doing. It's given me a nice little chance to still be part of football. And, if you're watching, help our ratings. That's cool. Our ratings are fantastic, apparently. We're averaging 1.1 million households per game, which is very good. Apparently, I don't know, but apparently those are very good numbers. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the expert on that. I don't know anything about Nielsen ratings and stuff like that, but the executives of our league are very happy.
If they hadn't screwed it up 30 years ago, as far as trying to go head to head with the NFL, it probably would have lasted, the whole while the spring football.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think that's Donald Trump's fault, but that's for you to watch a documentary and you make your decision.
Yeah, they do have one.
Yep. I think there's going to be another. I think Bill, my good friend in Miami, Billy Corbin, is already putting together a storyboard or a script for another The U Part 3. I think it's going to be called The Empty Wallet, because it turns out that that Life Wallet don't have any money in the wallet. I guess I don't know. And apparently he's another big time booster of Miami. So. Could it be that Miami got snake bit by another Ponzi scheme con artist, or whatnot? Who knows?
Oh boy,
I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell.
Yes,
but I know Billy Corbin's ready to write another one. Ready to do another The U.
University of Miami Hurricane.
Oh yeah, baby. Other than that, I think I'm going to spend some quality time with my family when I can, and cherish the fact that I have a family. I think we want to go ahead and always mention in this show that we are big proponents of the Gary Sinise Foundation. And Gary Sinise Foundation does a lot for veterans all over the country and in some other parts of the world. If you have a chance, Google the Gary Sinise Foundation. He's not only Lieutenant Dan, but apparently he's a heck of a guy.
Yep.
Byron, is there any last minute shout outs or closing arguments or whatnot you would like to, or a final thought?
All good. Just everybody, be blessed and, be safe, all the craziness that's going on in the world, and just, take it easy, man. Slow it down. Things aren't that serious, to get crazy over.
Yeah. My final thought is I pray for our country to come back to a point of stability. I think I think we have lost our manners of how to talk to people.
Yep.
I think we've lost our problem solving skills and our coping skills and coming up with solutions to problems. So I pray for stability. With that being said, I am sorry I'm not as energetic as I normally am. I'm fighting a cold because it's been cold and rainy here since last Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, but last week's Tuesday. So we had a little bit of sunshine today, and I mean very little bit of sunshine today after 5 p.m. But it's been tough on my body. Other than that, next week Victor Arocho will be back, and so will Byron. I am Andre Gispert, and thank you so much for joining us and putting up with us.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Take care. God bless.